I once watched a man destroy himself by trying to be the good guy. He gave his time, forgave every mistake, and sacrificed his peace for people who barely remembered him. Years later, I met him again. He was no longer easy to hurt. He looked at me and said, "The world didn't change. I did. I stopped being easy to break." Those words reveal a truth most people learn too late. The world does not reward endless kindness. It rewards strength, clear boundaries, and self-control. Right now, two versions of you exist. The first version keeps explaining, apologizing, and hoping people will finally understand. You work harder to earn respect, love, and attention, but the more you give away, the less people value you. The second version stays calm. It never begs, chases, or argues. When respect disappears, it simply walks away. No drama, no guilt, no need to prove anything. If you've lived as the first version for years, you become soft where life demands strength. You confuse kindness with surrender. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this. He believed that when you cannot have both love and fear, control matters more than approval. His lesson was never about cruelty. It was about refusing to let others control your emotions. Today, you'll learn how to become that stronger version of yourself. Every step will force you to leave behind an old habit. It won't feel comfortable, but it will make you impossible to manipulate. 1. Stop giving your energy to ungrateful people. Your greatest weakness was never your good heart. It was giving it to people who never deserved it. You kept helping, forgiving, and waiting for appreciation that never came. You believed one more sacrifice would finally make them value you. It never does. Power follows a simple rule. People rarely value what they receive without effort. When you give everything too easily, many assume you need their approval. The moment they see that need, they gain power over you. That is where weakness begins. Machiavelli warned that people often offend those who love them, because they know forgiveness will always be waiting. Ungrateful people think the same way. They expect you to stay. They expect another chance. They know you'll excuse their behavior instead of protecting yourself. That isn't compassion. It's self-deception. People remember consequences more than explanations. If disrespect brings no cost, it becomes a habit. Think about a friend who only calls when they need money or help. Every time you say yes without question, they learn one lesson: you'll always be available. But the first time you calmly refuse, they suddenly realize your time has value. Respect grows where limits exist. Every time you accepted disrespect, you taught people that your boundaries meant nothing. Every time you defended your worth with long explanations, you acted as if it needed approval. Kindness is powerful. Being harmless is not. Some people don't attack with anger. They attack with guilt. They make you feel selfish for saying no. They use your empathy to control your choices. Don't fall into that trap. Your loyalty is not something everyone deserves. It is earned through respect, honesty, and consistent actions. Give your energy only to those who protect your peace. For everyone else, let your absence teach the lesson your words never could. Detachment protects your mind. Indifference ends their control. Machiavelli understood human nature. He warned that many people are loyal only while it benefits them. If you hand your power to ungrateful people, they will eventually use it against you. Stop believing that being a good person alone will protect you. Kindness without boundaries invites disrespect. Ruthlessness is not about hurting others. It is about correcting what no longer serves you. It begins the moment you stop rewarding betrayal with another chance. When you stop answering every call, forgiving every lie, or explaining your silence, people who depended on your weakness become uncomfortable. They realize they can no longer control your emotions. That is when power changes hands. You decide who deserves your attention and who loses access to your life. Treat your energy like a valuable resource, not something to give away freely. Every minute spent on people who drain you is a minute stolen from your future. Protect your energy. Build it. Invest it where it grows. If people ask why you've changed, the answer is simple: you finally learned the truth. Some people deserve distance, not devotion. 2. Turn pain into power. Pain is an honest teacher. It doesn't care about excuses or comfort. It reveals your weaknesses so you can replace them with strength. The difference between weak people and strong people is not how much they suffer. It is what they do after suffering. Many people keep asking, "Why did this happen to me?" Powerful people ask, "What can this teach me?" That single question changes everything. Machiavelli believed that difficult times create the strongest minds, because hardship forces people to think clearly. Pain is information. Betrayal shows where you trusted too quickly. Rejection reveals where you placed your self-worth. Failure exposes the habits that need to change. See pain as a lesson, not a punishment. Imagine a businessman who loses everything because he trusted the wrong partner. One person spends years blaming fate. Another studies every mistake, becomes wiser, starts again, and builds a stronger company. They face the same pain, but only one gained power from it. Strong people do not waste energy chasing closure. They study what happened. They improve their strategy. Every setback becomes experience. That is real resilience. Pain is the fire that removes weakness. Instead of running from it, face it. Every difficult moment teaches emotional control. Once you survive your hardest days, fear loses its grip on you. A person who no longer fears pain cannot be controlled by threats, rejection, or guilt. That makes you unpredictable. And unpredictable people are difficult to manipulate. Comfort rarely changes anyone. Hardship forces growth. It removes illusions and teaches you to judge people by their actions instead of their promises. As your mind grows stronger, your emotions become calmer. You stop reacting to every insult. You stop chasing approval. You carry yourself with quiet confidence. People notice that change. Your silence becomes more powerful than arguments. Your scars become proof that you survived what was meant to break you. The next time life hurts you, don't ask why. Ask, what advantage can I build from this? Every painful moment hides a lesson. The ruthless find it. 3. Kill the need to be understood. The need to be understood keeps many people weak. You explain your actions, defend your choices, and hope others will finally see your good intentions. Most never will. People rarely listen to understand you. They listen to judge you, label you, or find your weaknesses. The more you explain yourself, the more information you give away. Machiavelli understood that power grows in mystery. The less people know about your motives, the harder you are to control. Silence protects you. A person who explains everything is often looking for approval. A confident person doesn't need permission to make decisions. Power doesn't argue. It acts. Think of a respected leader. They don't explain every decision to everyone. They make the choice, accept the responsibility, and move forward. That quiet confidence earns more respect than endless debates. When you stop defending yourself, people can no longer predict you. And people fear what they cannot predict. History shows that great strategists revealed less than they knew. They observed more than they spoke. Their actions carried more weight than their words. Learn from them. Every unnecessary explanation gives others a map to your emotions. Once they understand what hurts, motivates, or scares you, they know where to apply pressure. Protect that map. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your silence, your boundaries, your standards, or the person you are becoming. Let people misunderstand you. Some may call you distant. Others may call you arrogant. Their opinion does not define your reality. The moment you stop correcting every false opinion, you take back your peace. Self-control is real power. Silence is not weakness. It is emotional discipline. Imagine someone insults you in public, hoping for an argument. Instead of reacting, you simply smile and walk away. They expected anger but received nothing. In that moment, they lose control because they cannot control your emotions. That is psychological strength. The most respected people are rarely the loudest. They stay calm. They speak with purpose. Their presence commands attention because they never fight for it. Become that person. When someone tries to provoke you, let your silence answer. When someone judges you unfairly, let them live with their own assumptions. Those who truly respect you will judge you by your actions, not your explanations. The less you need others to understand you, the more clearly you understand yourself. 4. Detach. Don't beg. Begging for attention, love, respect, or closure always reduces your value. The harder you chase someone who is walking away, the less power you keep. Detachment is not coldness. It is self-respect. It is the ability to leave any relationship, friendship, or opportunity that destroys your peace. Many people confuse attachment with loyalty. They are completely different. Loyalty is a choice made from strength. Attachment is a need born from fear. Imagine a person constantly texting someone who ignores every message. They believe persistence will win love. Instead, every message lowers their value because it shows emotional dependence. The person who keeps chasing always gives away control. Never chase what freely chooses to leave. Protect your dignity first. People respect those who can walk away without begging. The moment you stop asking others to choose you, you begin choosing yourself. That is where real power begins. Machiavelli believed that a person who cannot control himself will always be controlled by someone else. Your emotions should serve you, not rule you. Strong people are not emotionless. They simply refuse to let emotions make their decisions. When someone leaves, they don't chase. When someone shows disrespect, they don't beg for an explanation. They quietly walk away. Silence becomes their strength. Distance becomes their answer. Manipulative people survive on your reactions. They want your anger, your guilt, your fear, or your need for approval. The moment you stop reacting, they lose their influence. That is real freedom. Indifference is often stronger than anger because it gives others nothing to fight against. Imagine someone keeps insulting you to start an argument. You stay calm, finish your work, and leave without a word. They expected emotion but received nothing. Their strategy fails because your peace cannot be controlled. That is quiet power. As you detach, something changes. You stop waiting for people to choose you. You become the one who decides who deserves your time. People who ignored you often notice your silence because they no longer have easy access to your attention. Detachment gives you authority. It allows you to leave chaos without losing your peace. Real strength is loving someone while still having the courage to leave when they destroy your self-respect. Detachment doesn't mean you care less. It means you value yourself enough to protect your peace. The moment you stop begging for love, respect, or attention, you stop giving others the power to drain you. 5. Boundaries are your armor. Boundaries protect your peace. Without them, anyone can enter your life, take your energy, and leave without consequences. Many people believe saying no is selfish. It isn't. Refusing to protect yourself is the real mistake. Every time you accept disrespect to avoid conflict, you lose a piece of your confidence. Every time you forgive without accountability, you teach others that your limits don't matter. Strong people understand one simple truth. A kind heart without boundaries becomes an easy target. Machiavelli believed that if you cannot protect yourself, no one else will do it for you. The world often tests your limits before it respects them. Think about a coworker who constantly gives you extra work because you never refuse. The first time you politely say, "I'm not available," they may be surprised. But over time, they begin respecting your time because you finally respected it first. That is how boundaries work. They are not walls built from hate. They are gates opened only for people who show respect. Clear boundaries remove confusion. Manipulative people dislike them because boundaries remove their control. When you calmly say no without guilt, you show confidence. When someone betrays your trust, and you remove their access instead of giving endless chances, you prove that your self-respect is not for sale. People learn how to treat you by watching what you allow. Protect your peace. Protect your time. Protect your standards. Because the strongest armor you will ever wear is a boundary that never moves. People who truly command respect never argue for it. They create it through their actions. When someone repeatedly disrespects you, don't reward them with your time, attention, or endless forgiveness. Distance teaches lessons that words never can. Forgiveness without consequences only encourages the same behavior. Mercy without limits invites more disrespect. Some people will call your boundaries arrogance. Others will call them pride. Wise people will recognize them as self-respect. Machiavelli believed that those who refuse to learn from deception often become victims again. People treat you according to what you accept. If you protect your peace, those who only wanted to use you slowly disappear. The noise fades. The right people remain. Imagine a friend who constantly cancels plans, but expects you to always be available. The moment you stop adjusting your life for them, one of two things happens: they either respect your time or walk away. Either result protects your peace. That is the purpose of boundaries. They don't push good people away. They reveal who truly belongs in your life. Boundaries separate loyalty from selfishness and honesty from manipulation. They make your time feel valuable instead of always available. Living without boundaries costs your dignity. Living with them builds quiet confidence. Kindness should never exist without protection. The goal is not to make everyone like you. The goal is to make people respect your standards. Every boundary sends one clear message: my peace is not negotiable. The people who truly value you will never ask you to lower those standards. They will respect them. 6. Master the art of silence. Silence is one of the strongest forms of power. Most people fear silence because it makes them uncomfortable. They keep talking to prove themselves, defend their image, or seek approval. Every unnecessary word reveals something about you. Machiavelli understood that revealing too much makes a person predictable, and predictable people are easier to control. Silence keeps your mind protected. It makes others wonder instead of knowing. Think about a business negotiation. One person keeps talking, trying to justify every offer. The other simply listens. After a long pause, the talkative person begins revealing more information than they plan. The quiet person gains the advantage without saying much at all. That is the strength of silence. It creates pressure without conflict. While you stay calm, others often reveal their fears, motives, and weaknesses. Strong people listen more than they speak. They observe more than they explain. They act more than they promise. Weak people rush to prove themselves. Strong people wait for the right moment. Every calm pause increases your authority. Every unnecessary sentence reduces it. The less people know about your plans, the more carefully they treat you. Uncertainty makes people cautious. That is psychological influence. Silence is not empty. It is controlled presence. The loudest person in the room often wants attention. The calmest person usually controls the room. History remembers leaders who stayed composed under pressure, not those who argued the loudest. Use silence wisely. When someone insults you, don't rush to respond. Let their own words expose them. When someone tries to provoke you, stay calm. Nothing frustrates a manipulator more than someone who refuses to react. Your silence will often say more than any argument ever could. Because true power is not found in speaking first. It is found in knowing when saying nothing is the strongest move. Machiavelli believed that wise people protect themselves through discipline, while foolish people try to protect themselves with endless words. The moment you stop explaining everything, you stop reacting emotionally and start thinking strategically. Real power is not something you announce. People feel it through your actions. Silence makes you difficult to predict, and people are careful around what they cannot easily predict. When you learn to control your words, you learn to control your power. In a world where everyone is trying to be heard, the person who speaks with purpose stands above the noise. 7. Give loyalty wisely. Loyalty is valuable only when it is earned. Giving it blindly can become your greatest weakness. Machiavelli warned that people often change when their interests change. That is why trust should grow slowly, not instantly. Never give away your independence for anyone. Respect others, but never lose yourself. Some people become so loyal to a friend, boss, or partner that they ignore every warning sign. They keep sacrificing until they are taken for granted. That is not loyalty. That is dependence. Strong people stay committed to their values first. Their relationships are built on mutual respect, not blind devotion. Imagine an employee who follows a dishonest manager without question. When the manager faces trouble, the employee loses everything as well. Another employee stays loyal to honesty instead of one person. Their integrity protects them when circumstances change. That is strategic loyalty. Your first responsibility is to your purpose, your principles, and your growth. Relationships should strengthen those, not replace them. Keep your independence. Think clearly before giving complete trust. People respect loyalty much more when they know it must be earned. The ability to walk away from unhealthy relationships makes your commitment meaningful. Real loyalty is never forced. It is chosen by two people who continue to earn each other's trust. 8. Become untouchable. The highest level of strength is becoming untouchable. That doesn't mean becoming cold or arrogant. It means no insult, betrayal, or manipulation controls your peace. Life will always bring challenges. People will test your patience. Not everything will go your way. Weak minds react to every problem. Strong minds stay steady. Machiavelli believed that the person who masters himself cannot easily be ruled by others. That is true freedom. To become untouchable, stop chasing approval. Stop depending on praise. Stop letting your confidence rise and fall with other people's opinions. Imagine two people receiving harsh criticism. One spends days trying to prove everyone wrong. The other listens, keeps what is useful, ignores the rest, and continues moving toward their goal. Only one protects their peace. That is inner mastery. When your confidence comes from your values, instead of outside approval, manipulation loses its power. No one can control a person who no longer depends on constant validation. The untouchable person stays calm in chaos. They choose reason over impulse. They protect their energy, and they move through life with quiet confidence. That is the strongest form of power, complete control over yourself. Many people spend their lives chasing approval, praise, and acceptance. These are distractions. The moment your confidence depends on other people, they gain influence over your emotions. Real strength begins when your peace comes from within. Build yourself through discipline, useful skills, patience, and clear thinking, not through constant approval. Confidence built on actions lasts. Confidence built on compliments disappears. People naturally respect those who stay calm under pressure. A person who remains steady during difficult moments often has more influence than the loudest person in the room. That is quiet power. When you stop expecting everyone to understand, approve, or agree with you, your decisions become clearer. You act with purpose instead of emotion. Your anger becomes controlled. Your fear becomes manageable. Your silence becomes intentional. Machiavelli believed that when love and fear cannot exist together, respect built on strength is more reliable than approval that disappears under pressure. Real influence is not about making people fear you. It is about becoming someone who cannot be easily manipulated, because your values and self-control are stronger than outside pressure. No insult controls your mood. No betrayal destroys your confidence. No opinion decides your worth. You become responsible for your own peace. That is true freedom. The world will challenge you. Some people will disappoint you. Life will often feel unfair. You cannot control those things, but you can always control your response. That is where your greatest power lies. You have learned to protect your energy. You have learned to turn pain into growth. You have learned to stop seeking approval, create healthy boundaries, use silence wisely, and value loyalty that is earned instead of blindly given. None of these lessons are easy. Everyone requires discipline, but each step makes you stronger and less dependent on the opinions of others. Imagine a tree during a storm. Weak branches break because they depend on the wind. Strong roots survive because they depend on themselves. Become those roots. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes experience. Every victory comes from mastering yourself first. Walk through life with calm confidence. Move without seeking permission. Speak with purpose. Protect your peace. And let your actions become stronger than your words. In the end, the greatest victory is not controlling other people. It is becoming someone who cannot be controlled by fear, anger, or the need for approval. Master yourself. Everything else will follow.